Hey everyone, welcome to this week's update of Premier Properties. And as everyone knows now, there is a bit of pandemonium, I'd say, with the 5% deposit scheme and a lot of what's going on in the market. And as I said it would happen, it has happened. Places are starting to go up by percentages every single month now, and that's kind of what's going on. Look, pretty much from last week, everything did sell. Almost everything did sell that I thought would sell. But I do have a few little updates this week. There's not much. It's one of those weeks where not much actually good that is well priced has actually come to the market. But like always, I will start with Melbourne. I do have an off-market place in Seddon, very close to Seddon Village. Well, I mean, literally a couple hundred meters away from Seddon Village, I think 200 to 300 meters away from Seddon Village. This place itself is, a 3-bed, 1-bath place in a typical Seddon cottage. It probably needs a little bit of work. I'd say you could probably get away with $20,000 worth of work, and it'd easily be done. What would need to be. So that's a very good one. That one I reckon you'll pick up for maybe, I'd say probably 900,000, maybe early 900. So it's extremely cheap for Seddon. Most of the things there will sell that's 3-bed and 1-bath in that location for at least $1 million, mostly 1.1 or 1.2. So you're probably walking in $100,000 there straight away. So that's my first update. I still do have another in West Footscray that is a set and forget style home. This one's a bit more expensive though. It is one where you're probably going to have to spend about $1 million to $1,050,000. However, it'll probably rent for $750 to $800 a week any day, just simply because of the condition it's in, and not only that too, also just the fixtures and fittings in it as well. So that's another one that I've got. Finally, the other one as well that I do have still is I do have one in like close to Kingsville. Probably picking this up for late 800s, early 900s. It does need probably about $20,000 work as well. However, it will val probably in the millions once you get that done. It'll rent for probably $700 to $750 a week. It's a brick and tile home. So for those that don't know the area, that is quite rare for the suburb. So that's one that I do have as well still in, these are all the inner west of Melbourne. What I have also in Melbourne too is in the inner north. So I do have one that's a 4-bed, 1-bath, which is very close to a town centre in Coburg. This will rent for easily $800 a week, maybe $850, and you're probably picking it up for $1,050,000 to 1.1, something like that. But for the location it's in, it'll have developer demand. It'll rent very easily, so which is obviously very good. And not only that too, but I'd say this property as well is in quite good nick as well. So you probably won't have to do very much to this at all. Just get the compliance checks as you need to in Victoria done, and that's about it. And you're good to go. The final one I do have as well is in Richmond, probably about a mid 1.1s to $1.2 million purchase price. So it does seem more expensive, but it'll probably rent for about $850 a week, and it's in a very good part of Richmond. So, the median of Richmond's about 1.3. So, that's something where you could probably know you're walking into some good bank almost straight away, which is a really, really good thing to do. So that's basically my summary of my Melbourne market. I do have two that have popped up in Geelong. So where we're really at with that is I do have one actually. I've actually got two that are both corner lots, funny enough, in two of my favourite suburbs of Geelong, literally the best you can get. They're actually above 500 metre squared lots. One's going to be picked up probably around 800, the other probably well under, but the other one I'm talking about there, you'll probably need to spend 50 to 60,000 to get it livable. However, both of these dwellings, what I think you could probably do now this is obviously subject to a town planner or speaking to council about it first. You could probably build a detached townhouse on the back of them. So these are the sorts of blocks where you could probably buy the actual home, subdivide it, sell even the land off, or just build one out the back, sell that one off, and then hold the original dwelling for a very, very low sum of money. You might have an LVR of like 50 or 30 to 50 or something after you do that. So very good opportunity for both of these. These are both ones that I can see how a investor can turn this into very low LVR, cash flow positive within the space of probably 12 months if they have the capital to do what needs to be done to these. So that's the two I've got in Geelong. Very rare and very good opportunities in that for both of them. Finally, I do still have one in Newcastle. It is in the inner west of Newcastle. It's right by a town centre there. It's actually within a growth precinct of the suburbs. So this is one where you have a very high floor to space ratio above 0.9 or 90%. So one that you could actually develop in the future. And I think it's under rented at the moment. So it is rented. So you got immediate income. Look, the yield will be a little bit low to start with because I think it's 675 or something a week at the moment. But I mean, market will be probably in the mid 700s. However, I mean, you'll probably pick this up in the mid to late nines, something like that, maybe cracking $1 million, but it's a very good deal because it's a very good part of the suburb. So that's really where we're at. Now, look, a lot of people have been reaching out and saying, look, there's not too much on these should I say, premier properties that are listed and all that kind of thing. I told the reason why you'll see this little stuff come up here and then it'll go very quickly is simple. So first things first, my clients get the first crack at all of these. So all of my clients who I have signed up to me will get first crack at all of these before everyone else, okay? And secondly, after that, as well, the people who reach out first and actually sign up to actually get access to these sorts of properties will then obviously get second priority. So that's the reason why they go very fast. So, I mean, as everyone knows, the market is moving now. So look, if you're someone who's really serious about getting in the market and you're looking for a buyer's agent who take better care of you than anyone, I strongly suggest you reach out via www.compoundinvest.com.au/inquire. Look, what happens here is it's simply a 30-minute phone call. I'll give you a call via your phone and we discuss what you want to do, what your goals kind of are. I'll give you some options. We formulate a strategy from there and then we actually get the purchase done. Now, for everyone who let's say might be sitting on the fence, you might be serious in 3 to 6 months, or you might even be someone who has their reservations about it. I still suggest you reach out because the strategy itself is more important than the purchase, because a lot of people will come and say, I want to achieve this over 20 years and I've bought these two properties, one in Dubbo and one in, let's say, Logan. I'm like, well, how are you going to achieve that when you want to get into, let's say, a good suburb of Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane, and you've just bought an area that historically long-term does 4 to 6% growth? And I don't think about it, but it's very important to actually get that right. So again, anyone serious or wants to get in the market, www.compoundinvest.com.au/inquire. I hope you all have a great week ahead and thanks for watching. Cheers. Accessing premier properties is simple. First of all, go to the main page at www.compoundinvest.com.au. Once you're on this page, go to the menu item, What We Do, and you'll see a link to Premier Properties. Click the link, and from there it will ask you basically to fill in your details and sign up. So you need to put your name, phone number, and email address. Once you have done that, click Submit. Go back out of the website and then go back into Premier Properties. You will therefore then have access to Premier Properties here, by which you can see what's available, the rough capital growth and the rough rental yield of each property. If you're interested in these properties, therefore click Action where it says View More. Once you then click this, it'll show you basically the metrics. Now, to get full access to this, you will need to reach out via Inquire. From there, you will be sent a agency agreement by which we can get access to the property and ideally close the deal for you. Please reach out if any of these properties are of interest to you, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks.